Welcome to the piano studio of Lisa Bailey. Today we will be working on We Wish You a Merry Christmas, which is arranged by Wendy Stevens. I am going to play through this piece all the way through, and then I will go over some things to notice while you are practicing it or to point out to your student. So here we go. Okay, this is a very fun piece to play. So first of all, at the beginning, I'm going to point out a few things. The main tune, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, starts here at the end of measure 8. When you are at this point, you are in middle C position. So your thumbs are sharing C. So the other sections, like the introduction, and then in the middle here at measure 24, and then again at measure 40, right here. That section, your left hand is still going to be here, but your right hand is going to be using F sharp and G right at the beginning. So you play, right at the beginning you play, and then your pinky is already here on the B for the next part. So I'm on the introduction. So your hand stays right here for that whole introduction, measures 1 through 8. And when you get to measure 9, right hand moves here. And hands stay here until you get to the end, the middle of measure 24 right here. And then they go back to where they were for the introduction. So starting at measure 24, and then you're going to move your right hand up an octave in measure 26. Then back. Okay, and then in the end of 29, 30, 31 to 32, thumbs are going to be sharing C again until you get to measure 40, which is on the last page. So over here, we're going to be back in that same section with our right hand, so your thumb ends up on E. So I'm going to start at measure 40. Then you're going to move up an octave again. Then again. All right, and right here at the ending, these two notes, this is a B and a C. These notes are very hard. They're way up here. Those two. So you're playing your ending starting at measure 40, getting softer, and then way up here. So nice and loud in that section. So that's an overview of where your hands go. Anytime you see this little word right here that says loco, that means put your hands back where they were before you went up an octave for the 8VA. So loco means back to your regular spot, back to where it's written. There's a few dynamics I want to point out. Actually, there's a lot of dynamics in this piece. So we start off mezzo piano, increase to mezzo forte here when we start the We Wish You a Merry Christmas theme. Okay, so we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And then when it starts the good tidings we bring, we're down to mezzo piano. So when we get to this section down here where the mezzo piano comes in, this is the good tidings we bring to you. And there's a unique thing that happens here with the right hand is going to be holding these notes. This is a tied, these are tied all the way across. The left hand is where the melody line is. So this is the most important part. Now we're only at a dynamic of mezzo piano in this section. So the left hand is not going to be very loud, which means the right hand needs to be even softer. Okay, so when you press these, you don't want to play them really hard and drown out what the left hand is doing. You want to keep these nice and soft. And then we have another held note here. So look, this is a tie here where the left hand is. This ties down to this note. Sometimes that's a little hard to see when it goes from one line to the next, but these are tied. So you press it once, hold it for 6 beats all the way through. Next dynamic marking is crescendo here up to forte. So when the We Wish You a Merry Christmas theme comes back in, we want to be at forte here, nice and loud, all the way through until we get to the last page where we have this long, long diminuendo all the way down to piano. So you want to gradually get softer each measure until you're down to piano, and then you're nice and loud at the ending. Good. You will also notice there are accent marks all the way through this piece. So starting here, accents and staccato. So often where the accents are, there is also a staccato mark. So these accents mean to emphasize that note, and the staccato means to make it short and crisp. So I'm going to start here on the end of measure 8 and play through to the beginning of measure 16. And I'm going to emphasize those staccato with the accents. So if you notice, I'm bouncing off of those staccatos, which also helps me emphasize them with the accent. Well, that gives you quite a bit to work on in this piece. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my page, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Thanks so much.